and welcome to Pixels in the Animation. This is episode 83. I'm, of course, TF2 and Mike. Joining me is TV's Mr. Neil.
People say the universe is a star ocean. I'm running out of Urkel and Sonic references, so now I have to reference other video games.
Yes, and I would rather be, dealing with the legacy of Cain as a Soul Reaver or something. I don't know. Soul's Edge, Soul Calibur, Soul Blade, whatever you want to call that game. I love that game series, but oh my god.
That's a good series.
It is a very good series. Alright, so episode 83, we are here to talk more adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. We start off with Tails' new home. This might be the only episode, at least to this point of the series, that has a lot of interesting continuity with Tails and Sonic and how they met and whatever else. And when Sonic decides to find Tails a suitable foster home to ensure his safety, Robotnik finds out and creates a robot fox family who pose as Tails' long-lost parents. The Sonic Says segment is all about running away and how you should never do it. Like I said, I enjoyed this one. I thought this one was really well done. We see how Sonic and Tails first meet in this series and how Sonic is the overprotector. And then they go on these adventures of trying to find him another family in Mobius, and you've got the family who doesn't. Basically, the first family is the ones that always forget what they're doing, or they do something and then walk away, like leaving the oven turned up too high,
unattentive, irresponsible.
Yeah. Like I said, I enjoyed the continuity here and the introduction and basically showing us how Sonic and Tails are pretty much brothers. What did you think of this one?
It was a nice episode. Continuity in this series is not really something I prioritize, but they had kind of a funny way of doing it by having Tails think that he's a bird because he can fly. And I like that. I think this is the only time they reference his real name, which is miles per hour.
Yep. I love that he essentially pulls off a Darth Vader moment at the end. Mm. If you don't do what I say, Tails, I'll tell everyone your real name. No! But I enjoyed this one. I thought this one was really well done. Anything else for you on this one?
Not a lot, except that I like that the fake parents, the fake Fox family, were very obviously fake. They were stitched up, and they were clearly robots.
I thought they were puppets at first. I didn't realize they were going to be robots.
It's kind of like the fake family from Invader Zim.
Yeah.
How they're, like, clearly not real people. They're like, hello, son, where he walks in the door.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm probably going to give this one a 4 just because of the continuity. And like you said, continuity is not this series' it's not its main sticking point, but I thought this was a nice change of pace versus, a wacky one-off episode. What are you going to give this one?
I'll give it a 3.5.
All right. Up next, we're going to talk about Adam West's Batman. I'm sorry. Over the Hill Hero. When an overweight, elderly superhero, Captain Rescue, bungles in his attempts to help Sonic, he grows tired of his incompetence. Robotnik then uses Captain Rescue to successfully imprison Sonic in an impenetrable force field. And Tails and Captain Rescue must save him. The Sonic Says segment was about the wisdom of your elders, folks. That might be the most heavy-handed.
Yeah, that's a little.
PS. Like, look, I get it. Don't talk back to your elders. Don't disrespect your elders. But they basically say that because a person is older, that they have a better perspective on how to navigate your own life. That's not necessarily true.
No.
I mean, a lot of times it is, but it's honestly, for me, it's probably 50-50.
Right.
I like this one. Like I said at the very beginning of this, it kind of reminds me of an episode of 66 Batman. Because, yeah, it kind of does. And Gary Chalk is the over-the-hill hero voice, so that was very cool. What did you like about this one?
This would be like if Adam West came back as Batman now.
Mm-hmm.
And tried to be Batman, and other heroes were like, oh, God, why do we have to put up with this guy? Just this bumbling old fart trying to relive the old days and can't get it on anymore, and
Mm-hmm.
you know can't see the folly of his ways. There's a fine line between being a hero and being a memory.
Yeah, being a hero and being a memory. You either live long enough to see yourself become the hero, or then you become a villain, or whatever that line was from that one movie.
For quoting things.
Yes, trying anyway. Trying and failing. It's late. Well, it is for me anyway. And this show is starting to give me a headache. So, yay. Like I said at the beginning, the PSAs, the older people are very wise type deal. I'll give this a 3. It was alright. The jokes were well placed and timed, and in the end, the over-the-hill hero learned his lesson. What about you?
I'll give it a 3 as well. I was kind of getting flashbacks of Wombat Man from
I know.
from Captain N.
Yes. Oh, Wombat Man. We miss you, Wombat Man. Oh, crap. Alright, now we talk about a blank-headed eagle. Man, if only Killer was here. Killer, the buzzard.
Yeah, I know.
Scratch suffers a blow to the head and believes that he is his favorite television character, Edgar Eagle. Sonic uses this to his advantage in preventing another of Robotnik's schemes. The Sonic Says segment was about seatbelt safety. Alrighty then. Seatbelt safety.
Click it or ticket.
Yeah. Don't drink and drive. Don't drive and text. That's the new one nowadays. Oh my god. Yeah. I like Blank-Headed Eagle. It's fun. It's interesting. They have your... I was really... The only thing I was waiting for... I was waiting for Henry to show up. I was waiting for Henry Hawk to show up. Because I swear to God, this chicken family or whatever they're supposed to be reminds me so much of Henry Hawk's family. Oh, God. But yeah, Grounder's not even in this one, I don't think. Scratch loses his memory, thinks he's this superhero.
Right.
It's just crazy seeing a helmet on him all the time in this episode. I don't know. What did you think of this one?
It was kind of funny. I like that he kept having memories of being Robotnik's stooge, but he just wasn't putting it together. He's like, oh yeah, Robotnik keeps his keys in his left pocket. How do I remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Blank-Headed Eagle, and then obviously at the end, like with most of these types of things, if you get hit on the head the first time at the beginning of the episode, of course, another hit to the head at the end of the episode will return you to normal.
Right.
And we actually get Edgar Eagle coming in at the end to sweep the heartbroken chicken off her feet because Scratch basically broke her heart, so there's that. What else did you have for this one before we rate it?
Not much. That was basically it, the whole memory thing. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that one episode of Stripperella where the one kind of antagonist stripper kept getting hit out over the head with like a bowling ball.
Yep.
She's like, I know Stripperella's secret. Bonk. No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, absolutely. It's hilarious. Blank-headed eagle. I'm going to give it a 2. What about you?
I'll give it a 2.5.
All right. Up next is The Mystery of the Missing High Tops. Please, no. Just no.
Sonic wears high tops?
Yeah.
That's what I kept thinking of. Like he doesn't really wear high tops. They're kind of like...
Well, it's sneakers. And,
yeah. He just kind of wears normal sneakers. See, I lived through the 80s, so I remember high tops as actually being high tops. Like,
yeah.
Shoes that went halfway up your calf almost.
Yeah, absolutely. During a fair in his honor, Sonic's shoes are stolen, and he and Tails use detective intellect to try and solve the whodunit case. The Sonic Says segment was no stealing, folks. Basically the 8th commandment. That's some pretty bad... Scrappy Doo could out-detective these guys in his sleep. Ta-da-da-da-da! Puppy power! This is the only episode to this point that Robotnik has nothing to... Like, this is not Robotnik's scheme at all.
Right.
Which is interesting. Essentially, the villain ends up being just this collector guy. What I thought was really funny about this is finding out the reason why Sonic needs the sneakers, the super special high-top sneakers that he has, is because when he runs without them, his feet basically catch on fire.
Yeah, they're friction-proof sneakers.
Yeah. What did you think of this one?
Kind of an interesting idea. Kind of breaks the monotony of the series, having a completely different kind of episode, having a whodunit, and having the main villain actually not be Robotnik for once, and kind of throwing you little clues and little non sequiturs to throw you off the path, but at the same time you can kind of figure it out before Sonic does. Yeah,
absolutely.
I know who it was. It was Red Herring.
I'm gonna beat you, Jones. God, Red Herring. I don't care what anyone says. I still love a pup named Scooby-Doo.
That was a great show. It was the best show that Ken Kennedy ever did.
Oh my God. Look, folks, a shoot gag. Yeah. Yeah, The Mystery of the Missing High Tops. 1. I mean, it was a nice whodunit. You're right. It is a nice break in the series. All right, I'll give it a 1.5. But it just, I don't know. It just didn't feel like a Sonic episode. Even if it was just him going up against Scratch and Grounder without you didn't have to have Robotnik in at all, which it didn't. But obviously, I don't know. What about you for rating?
I'll give it a 2.
All right. Finally up today, we say so long, sucker. Tails adopts a squishy creature from another dimension named Goobster. Is that like roast gooble? Ugh.
I don't
know. Who turns out to actually be a black hole. The Sonic Says segment was all about pets. Okay, this one was freaky. How do you have a black hole as a pet?
I don't know.
You want to talk about a science train wreck, folks. This is a science train wreck, this episode.
Would you say it sucks?
Yeah.
Like a black hole?
Yeah, most definitely. Oh my God. What did you have for this one? Anything interesting?
I was trying to figure out what this was reminding me of. Like, there's some other cartoon that has a creature like this. Maybe it's Orbity, maybe it's Crimzeek. I can't quite place it, but I've seen this type of character before, where it's like this cute character that's also a menace.
Yeah.
Who, is also kind of annoying, and you wish for him to go away because he makes annoying sounds throughout the entire episode. Yeah, I did not enjoy this character, and I just
I didn't
look
either.
forward for him to go away.
Yeah. I think you're probably thinking of Crimzeek more than Orbity, because Orbity was annoying as hell, and his voice was annoying as well, but Crimzeek is the one that Crimzeek, and he's just destroying everything.
Yeah, it's like an amalgam of the two.
Yeah. And God. If only there were a flyer or a sign at the end of this to show Sonic and us, the viewers, where to return Goobster to. And it had something to do with Hoboken, I'm dying. Oh, God.
See, I when they finally got rid of Goobster, I was kind of secretly wishing, although I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was wishing that they would open the portal to the Sat-Am universe and throw him in there. And just let him devour that universe.
It would be funny. That would be amazing and epic and awesome, and oh my God. Yes, let Goobster destroy the Dark Universe.
Way past cool.
They started using a lot of that stuff in here. He doesn't say way past cool, but he does say a couple of things that were said in Sat AM.
I think he said it once.
Yeah.
So far.
So don't say that. Don't say so far. Don't
He's
jinx
eating
it.
chili dogs.
Well, yeah, but he was doing that from the beginning of this series. It wasn't like it started in any of these episodes in today's podcast. I mean, I think the very first episode, the first thing we saw him doing was eating a chili dog. Oh my God, what are you going to give So Long, Sucker?
I'll give it a 1.
Yeah. I give it a 1.5. It's all right. So yeah, folks, that's going to do it for episode 83. We're going to take a quick break, come back with the final thoughts and all that good stuff, and we'll be back after this.
DeCian, the superhero webcomic. DeCian's got superhero antics and sexy girls. For action, comedy, mayhem, and more, read it now at DeCian.com. DASIEN.com.
I just told him that Henrietta thought he was the handsomest eagle on all of Mobius.
By golly, Sonic, you think of everything.
Yeah. Someday I might even have my own TV show like Edgar Eagle. We'll call it Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right, we are back. And between this week's episode and last week's episode, there's a trend in this show. We start off really liking episodes, and then we go to not necessarily downright hating them, but it's more so like mediocre to bad to bad. I mean, to recap for this week, Tails' New Home, I gave it a 4, you gave it a 3.5. We both gave Over the Hill Hero a 3. I gave Blank-Headed Eagle a 2, you gave it a 2.5. Mystery of the Missing High Tops, I gave it a 1.5, you gave it a 2, and So Long Sucker, 1.5 and a 1. So this series must be starting to do something right, and then it slowly declines as the episodes go along. Oh, God. So funny. And I almost think by a couple of weeks from now, when we get up to episode 86 of the podcast, it might actually go in reverse. I don't know, but oh, God. So yeah, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for joining us here on Pixels in the Animation. You can visit geekcastradio.com for this and all the other episodes for Pixels in the Animation and all the other podcasts we do. You can check out DeCian.com for all of Neil's comic goodness and all the stuff he does over there. Follow us on Twitter. Mine is at TFG and Mike. You can also follow at Geekcast Radio. What is your Twitter?
Peel and Bailey.
become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast Radio Network. You can also search out TV's Mr. Neil, Mr. Raving.hipster over there.
Yep.
And, yeah, next week we've got Sonic Gets Thrashed, Pseudo Sonic, Grounder the Genius, Tails in Charge. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
And then It's Snow Problem.
Why do I get the feeling I've heard that title before?
And the sad thing is, all I can think of is Mo Money, Mo Problems. It's think of this song. It's all that I can think of. So tune in next week for us here on Pixels and the Animation. And be sure to leave us iTunes reviews if you guys want to. We could use some new iTunes reviews as well, as always.
And tell your friends to listen to this.
Yes.
Spread the word. I think we should have been saying that all along, but
yeah.
We would like to see a lot more feedback.
Yes, please. We don't even care if it's bad feedback. If you disagree with us, fine. We don't care. We just want the feedback.
Bring it.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true. God. Thank you for joining us here on Pixels and the Animation. Tune in next time, and we will catch you later. You got a PSA you want to give us?
Yes, TV's Mr. Neil says, don't take a bath with Mr. Toaster.
Oh, my God. That's just... yikes.